Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Chris, and I'm your dad next door. And today, I am super excited to present to you this new microphone that I have here in this case that I have been wanting to get ever since I saw it get reviewed on the Booth Junkie. This microphone here, let me adjust this one just a little bit. This microphone right here is the MXL 990, and we're going to show you what comes with it when you get it. This thing is a thing of beauty. You get microphone. We're going to try to get this in front of here. You get microphone, shock mount, and a regular microphone stand if you don't want to use the shock mount. But this thing here, I have taken this microphone out of the case and looked at it, and this thing is a thing of beauty. So in contrast to this dynamic microphone I'm using today, the MXL is a condenser microphone that has a very, very large diaphragm in it, hence the size. Look at the size difference between this AT2005. The build quality on this thing feels fabulous. This thing is very heavy. It's surprisingly heavy when you pick it up out of the case. I mean, just the size of it alone, it's a little short compared to some other condensers I've worked with, but it is fat and it is robust. The circuitry in this thing must be done really well. So far, I really like the shock mount design. It's a heavy duty looking shock mount. The only complaint I have with the case is this mount for it. It goes on the bottom here, and this is plastic. Everything about this thing screams quality, screams finish, screams nice, except for the plastic ring. I feel like this might break kind of easily. It just feels cheap. It's definitely plastic. I mean, I was wondering why they skimped out on that when even the ring itself is metal. But I mean, I will use the shock mount way more often, but since this is a condenser microphone, it will require phantom power. It does have a cardioid polar pattern, so we will be testing it, speaking directly into it. We will tell what the Offaxis sounds are like. We'll do some testing with that. I'll spin it around a little bit here once I get it hooked up and see. And then we will kind of go through that. So let's get this guy hooked up. I'm going to be holding it for the first portion, just do a couple of quick tests here with it. Just holding it, and then we will actually put it on a stand and pit it up against this AT2005. Okay, so here we are. I have the MXL hooked up on my Behringer mixer here. The mic preamp is set to about 11 o'clock. The line level is set to about 11 o'clock, and the main mix level is set to right at 12 o'clock there for 0 dB gain. So those are the settings on the mixer currently right now. Its working levels look really similar to the AT2005 in my digital meter here on screen. So we're looking at that. I'm hoping this sounds good. I haven't even listened to this microphone really yet. I've just kind of been played with it. I'll know what this looks like in post. This is raw for me. So we're going to go ahead and show you the off-axis sounds. So I'm going to just rotate the microphone here and show you what it sounds like as I'm rotating it. So I am now at 45 degrees from the front, or this would be 90 actually, I guess, if I knew math, if I knew angles. We are now 180 degrees. We are going back to 270, and now we are coming back to 360. Again, since this is a front address or side address, I guess you would call it, either or. I've heard it interchangeably. I don't know what the correct term is, but we can assume that, talking into it like this is not good either. This is not going to be a top address microphone. You're not going to want to talk into it like I do the AT, just because of the difference in the way the coils are set up. This one actually has the coil facing towards me right here. This is supposed to have an internal pop filter and windscreen and everything in it, so I don't know what plosives are going to sound like in this. I'm just doing Paul, Pickle, Peter, Pam, just kind of making some different sounds there to see what they sound like. So now, next test, we're just going to go ahead and take this, put it on a stand, and then I'll do some side-by-side comparisons with the AT2005, and we'll see what those sound like. And here we go. We have both microphones hooked up here now. They are both recording at the same time here, so that way you guys can get side-by-side comparison audio and give you an exact difference about what these sound like. You would have noticed that I took the pop filter off of the AT2005 because I want this to be an apples to apples comparison. The way I do have this aligned, right, the AT2005 is facing straight towards me because it is a top address dynamic. The MXL 990, the MXL 990 is the front address, as we discussed in the beginning of the video. So we're just going and talking here. Again, I love this shock mount. I think this is designed really well. I'm so glad it comes in the kit. It matches with the coloring of the microphone. I love the color of this microphone. It's not your standard black. It's not the silver. It's just kind of like a little bit of a different, I think they call this color champagne. And it just stands out. I reviewed recently. I reviewed the Neewer microphone, and one of my comments were that I didn't like the gold color because it just felt cheap, and to me it looked cheap. This one here looks classy. It looks nice on camera. It looks nice. It's not super reflective, so the lighting doesn't blow it out, and it doesn't cause all kinds of issues with the lighting. And it's just got that nice flat, there again, champagne color as they call it. Additionally, one of the reasons that I chose to go between the AT2005 and the MXL 990 is because they are both right in the same price range. I believe when I paid for the AT2005, it was $69.99, I believe, when I paid for it. If not, I'll make an adjustment in the bottom of the video here to give you the actual price that I paid for it on Amazon. And then the MXL 990 was right at, I believe, $79.99. So they're within $10 price of each other, and it just goes to show you, like, I'm hoping that this shows the quality difference between these two microphones. The AT2005 did have to have some cutbacks because it is one of those USB and XLR microphones, so some of that cost of the microphone and the technology involved in it and the quality of parts went into the USB components, but it still goes to show that you can get a really, really nice sounding XLR microphone for less than $100. I think right now, condenser microphone wise, this MXL 990 is going to be one of my favorite ones that I've seen or heard or tested myself. It just sounds amazing to me. The quality that comes through it at the cost is just fabulous so far. Okay, so for the next test, I'm going to be doing a keyboard, just kind of playing, because, most of the content and most of the individuals who watch this channel are streamer-based or live content creator-based. So what we're going to be doing here is just taking an opportunity to play on the keyboard here. We're going to do some mouse clicks and things, and we're going to do some adjusting here just to show you how much of that sound bleeds through on these different microphones. One of the things that I think we're going to notice is that the MXL is going to have some additional background noise just because it is in that condenser environment. Let's see, let me open up a notepad, and you can hear my mouse clicks, I'm certain. And we're going to go over here, and now we are going to, and this is just a keyboard that is, this is Logitech's Roamer G keys, or what they're called. So they're not as loud as Cherry MX Blues, but they're not as quiet as Reds. So they're a little different. I guess you could compare them somewhere to Browns, MX Browns or something, but it's Logitech's Roamer G keys, or what they're called. And you should be able to hear my voice clearly, but you're probably going to pick up quite a bit of keyboard noise from behind that. And I wouldn't suspect that the AT2005 has hardly any keyboard sounds in it, but we'll see what that sounds like as well in post. So another test we're going to do here today is just the ambient sound test. So I'm going to step back, just be quiet for about 10 to 15 seconds for each microphone. And I want you to know that this is not a treated room. That is a sliding glass door behind me with blinds. I have a window here that's untreated. This is just kind of a blackout shade on the window. There's not a whole lot of room treatment in here because I use this room for live streaming. So I want you to get an opportunity to see the sound difference between the AT2005 and the MXL when there's no sound being created by me within the room. I expect you'll be able to hear computer fans or my ceiling fan or something like that out of the MXL, and those are things that you will need to take into consideration if you're considering this for live content environment. Maybe there was a lot of noise there. I'm not quite sure. We're going to go ahead and figure that out again in post. And then, so my last thing I'm going to do here for testing is going to be my range test. I will continue to walk backwards and kind of just talk as I'm walking and show you the differences in the sound as you get further away from each of these microphones. So the reason for that is, most of you know, like every time I do one of my videos or something like that, at this point, you should be within inches of your microphone, not feet. Your microphone should be within 6 inches of your face, typically, so you need to make sure that you're working along that aspect. The further away, the more loss you're going to have in the sound. Obviously, you don't want to sit on top of it, but you want to be able to have a good distance to where you're not spitting into the microphone, but you're also getting all of your sound pushed into it as well. So we're just going to do this, and we're going to keep walking backwards here, and we're just going to talk and see the difference between the two audio levels and see which one can pick me up more, what it sounds like, kind of different things like that. So we're just continuing to move around, kind of make a difference in here, where I'm moving in the room, how the different microphones continue to pick me up. So we've just finished listening to our recording so far, and I gotta say, I really like this microphone. I'm actually planning on streaming tonight. By the way, check me out on Twitch. Links to my social profiles down on the bottom of the video. And I am going to use this one over the AT2005 and see what the viewers think. I'll leave them both hooked up, and I might switch between them during the stream. But I really enjoy this microphone so far. I was actually quite surprised at the limited amount of noise difference between the 990 and the AT2005 when I had that quiet section there and I was trying to just pick up what the room ambiance was. I do believe that the MXL picks up a little bit of reverb in the room, and there might be at some point my responsibility to get some acoustic blankets or padding or some kind of something to deaden, because I have a solid wall right behind me here that's obviously getting a lot of reverb that's probably coming back to the microphone. Other than that, I think this is a phenomenal buy. At $80, this could be one of your better entry-level condenser microphones for you to get an attempt to do your high-quality audio production, singing even. I can't sing, otherwise I would test that. Your live streaming, YouTube, whatever you're going to try and do, podcasting, I think this microphone is going to be a great opportunity for you to get started and really get going forward. If you have any questions, please feel free. Again, I do stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. We have an active Discord that I take questions, anything like that. And also on Twitter, I respond to any tweets that are tagged me in. All the social profiles are linked in the bottom of the video if you have any questions or anything like that. If you have an additional microphone that you would like to have reviewed, or you want to see something compared to this, please let me know down in the comments of the video, because I'd love to test out more. I'm trying to create the best solution for people to compare different styles of microphones that don't usually get put together, and just have an opportunity for people to see the differences in how each one sounds. So my name is Chris. I'm your dad next door. We'll check you next time.